Welcome to Midweek News, episode 130 for June 4th, 2025. Let's get into it. Firefox 139 is available for download. This is a small update. Support for full-page translations within Firefox extension pages. Support for transparent PNG images when pasted into Firefox. Improved performance of HTTP 3. And some experimental support added to the Firefox Labs preview. More details in the article and release notes. Hands-on with the new UBXI KDE6 desktop in Rhino Linux. Rhino is making waves again with a KDE6 based desktop addition to its rolling release built on top of an Ubuntu base. The article walks you through installation and talks about the experience using the new desktop. This is an interesting read and something we may have to try out during a live stream. Armbian 25.5 is ready for the ARM future. Support for your normal array of Raspberry Pi type boards and adding support for the Rock 5B and UE2 R1. The Armbian config tool continues to grow, adding support for tools like Home Assistant, Sterling PDF, Grafana, NetData, Navidrome, Image, and others. It is certainly good to have some competition in the OS market for ARM boards. DietPi May 2025 release. DietPi is a lightweight, Debian-based operating system optimized for single-board computers and embedded systems. The new release, version 9.13, focuses on improving security defaults and removing outdated software options. Support is also available for RISC-V. Linux 6.16 kernel adds new enhancements for Suspend and Hibernate. Linus himself merged pull requests for supporting the power subsystem to initiate file system freeze thaw events as part of the system's suspend and resume cycle. Microsoft engineer Christian Brauner submitted the VFS freeze updates. It is really interesting these days to see Microsoft engineers submitting feature enhancements to the Linux kernel. New PC to PC migration in Windows 11. Considering the slow migration from Windows 10 to 11 and the impending end of support for Windows 10, this is the optimal time to develop the new functionality. Hopefully they can get it released before they take Windows 10 behind the barn for the old Yeller treatment. Whether it will help is something completely different. I do find it humorous that when Microsoft does something like this, they make it a Windows-only experience. When Apple has done similar things in the past, they have allowed transferring from PC to a Mac. Alma Linux 10 is now available. Hot on the heels of the RHEL 10 release is Alma Linux 10. You can grab your copy now from the usual places, and it will even run in Windows subsystem for Linux. SteamOS stomps Windows on the Legion Go S. This is for the gamers out there. The testing has come back, and not only is the Legion Go S cheaper with SteamOS, it also beats the Windows version in many games on performance. The rumor mill is reporting that Microsoft has even paused the development of an Xbox handheld so it can focus on fixing the performance issues plaguing Windows on handheld gaming devices. I interrupt this episode of Midweek News to ask for your help. I'm running a poll to determine the future of Midweek News, which continues to underperform on this channel. Should I move it to another channel, move it to a bi-weekly format, kill it completely, or leave it as is? So far, the option to move it to another channel is in the lead. Make your voice heard. And now, back to the show. Microsoft wants Windows to update all software on your PC. What could possibly go wrong? Microsoft has introduced updates to the existing Windows Update infrastructure aiming to unify updating all apps, drivers, and system components. Under the new update model, it will also handle restart requirements, notification deadlines, and rescheduling failed operations. Currently available in private preview. My biggest question right now is whether this will be only for Microsoft software or if it will include open source software updating by hooking into Winget. SuperTuxKart 1.5 release candidate is now available. The next big update for SuperTuxKart is getting close. For those completely in the dark, SuperTuxKart is an open source answer to Mario Kart and is actually quite good. Available for Android, Linux, macOS, and Windows. DNF5, the next generation Fedora package manager. Highlights include speed, improved user experience, new core library, new features, DNF daemon, and modularity. While I'm not the biggest Fedora fan, it does stay on my radar to try a few times a year, and with a package manager update, I might just have to take a look once again. VirtualBox 7.2 Beta 1 is now available. Updates coming in this release include Windows 11 on ARM support, VirtualBox VM guest editions for Windows 11 ARM. The VirtualBox Unified Windows Installer package has ARM virtualization support built in, graphical refinements, and more details can be found in the release announcement available on virtualbox.org. Ubuntu now includes monthly development snapshots. Snapshot 1 of what will become Ubuntu 25.10 is already available. There will be 4 snapshots total in this development release on the following schedule. Snapshot 2 on June 10th, Snapshot 3 on July 15th, and Snapshot 4 on August 19th. These snapshots are not to be considered fully fledged releases, but curated testable milestones from the development cycle. Canonical remain committed to their 6-month release cycle with a long-term support release every 2 years. Multitrack video support coming to OBS Studio 31.1 on Linux. Multitrack support is coming to Linux. Hardware accelerated browser services will also be coming to the next release. I'm glad to see some of these features finally making it to the Linux version of OBS. The lack of multi-track video support has definitely been a detriment to the adoption of a full Linux recording environment for some. The beta is now available. Automatic to resume WordPress Contributions. In a reversal of their statement claiming that 6.8 would be the final release for 2025, Automatic is restarting their contributions. The article claims that Automatic has learned a lot from the pause in terms of the many ways WordPress is used. For context, WordPress powers 43% of the web. As long as the current management team is in place, the road ahead is going to be a shaky one. WireGuard Easy version 15 is a full rewrite. WireGuard Easy is a streamlined solution for deploying self-hosted WireGuard VPNs. The article links to a full setup guide. Environment variables have largely been removed. Support for running in non-Docker environments has been discontinued. For more information, you can view the release notes, which are linked in the article. The nonprofit supporting the LadyBird browser development becomes a public charity. LadyBird aims to be an independent, fast, and secure browser that respects user privacy and fosters an open web. The first alpha version is targeting summer 2026 on Linux and macOS. I will definitely be watching this, as it will be interesting to have a standards-driven browser rather than what we currently have, which are mainly derived from legacy products and trying to maintain backward compatibility. And on that note, we've reached the end of Midweek News episode 130. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.